honestly thought he won the fight by looking at him. A lot of people thought he won the fight. It's boxing, you know what I mean? It's what the judges saw.
The rematch between Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk left the boxing world buzzing with mixed opinions, sparking debates over the judges' unanimous decision. The atmosphere surrounding the fight was charged with anticipation, with fans and experts alike offering differing takes on the outcome. As expected, there was a divide between those who praised Usyk's precision and endurance, and those who felt that Fury deserved more credit for his aggressive approach. Tyson Fury, in particular, believed he had done enough to secure the win. He was convinced that he had won the fight by at least 3 rounds, emphasizing his control over significant portions of the bout. Many observers, including his promoter Frank Warren, disagreed with the judges' scorecards, highlighting what they saw as a shocking disparity in the scoring. Warren was particularly vocal, pointing out that one judge hadn't awarded Fury even a single round in the last 7, while the other 2 gave him only 1 round in that period. This, he argued, was impossible, given the number of effective punches Fury landed during those final rounds. The fight itself was a tactical affair, with both fighters showing moments of brilliance. However, there were no dramatic moments like in their first encounter. The contest was tight from the first round, with both fighters trading moments of control. The early rounds were close, with some rounds hard to score as both fighters took turns with effective aggression. The first 7 rounds were particularly close, and many ringside observers felt that either fighter could have been ahead at that point. The pivotal turning point came in rounds 6 and 7, as Usyk started to land eye-catching shots after Fury appeared to tire. Usyk, who had struggled to find his rhythm in the early rounds, began to press his advantage and land clean shots, which ultimately swayed the judges in his favor. His ability to stay composed and execute his game plan, even when the fight was close, was a testament to his exceptional conditioning and boxing IQ. Tyson Fury, on the other hand, showed more activity in this fight compared to his previous bouts, utilizing his jab and size to try and control the action. However, many felt his punches lacked the same sharpness and clean impact that Usyk was able to deliver. Former world champion Carl Frampton offered a balanced analysis of the fight, noting that the first 7 rounds were incredibly close. He described the fight as a gripping spectacle in its early stages, with both fighters trading momentum. In his view, Usyk took control in the later rounds as Fury began to tire, and that shift in momentum ultimately led to Usyk's victory. Frampton acknowledged that Fury had been more active than in their first encounter, but he also noted that Usyk's superior boxing and ability to land cleaner shots were decisive in the final analysis. Tyson Fury's performance, especially in the later rounds, was also the subject of much discussion. Despite his belief that he had done enough to win, there were moments in the fight where it seemed like he could have done more. For example, in round 10, Fury had one of his better moments, getting inside and working Usyk over. He fought aggressively in that round, but the judges still gave it to Usyk, which raised questions about the scoring. Despite this, Fury's performance in the 10th round was a reflection of his improved strategy and willingness to press Usyk, a fighter who had been known for his movement and slick boxing. Boxing experts were divided on whether Fury's increased activity would have been enough to sway the judges in his favor had he been more aggressive throughout the fight. Some suggested that he needed to do more to land cleaner punches and avoid allowing Usyk to take control in the middle rounds. This debate centered around the idea that boxing, at its highest level, is about controlling the pace, landing effective punches, and being able to sustain that effort for the full 12 rounds. Fury's ability to fight inside and control the pace was a key part of his strategy, but it wasn't always enough to break through Usyk's defense. Former UFC champion Michael Bisping offered a compelling perspective, acknowledging that Fury had wobbled Usyk on a few occasions, but noting that the drama didn't reach the heights of their earlier encounter. Bisping argued that if some of Fury's punches had landed cleanly, the outcome might have been different. He suggested that Fury had moments in the fight where he could have knocked Usyk out, but that didn't happen. Despite this, he believed the judges got it right, aligning with expert analysis and ringside pundits who had Usyk winning by a clear margin. In the build-up to the fight, there was a lot of focus on Fury's weight. Tyson Fury came into the rematch 55 pounds heavier than Usyk, and this raised questions about how his extra weight would affect his performance. While Fury's extra weight may have slowed him down in the later rounds, it also allowed him to land some solid body shots and hold Usyk on the inside, a strategy that might have worked if he could sustain it longer. However, Usyk's conditioning and stamina proved to be the difference in the latter stages of the fight. Usyk's ability to keep his output high while maintaining a clean, controlled performance was a key factor in his victory. Legendary ring announcer Michael Buffer weighed in on the outcome, describing the fight as a close contest that could have gone either way. He praised Usyk for his performance, but also acknowledged that Fury had his moments, particularly in the early rounds. While Buffer disagreed with the judge's final decision, he believed that the fight was close enough to justify differing opinions. He also noted that Usyk's work rate and ability to execute his strategy were what ultimately gave him the edge. Former Olympian Tony Jeffries offered a more technical breakdown of the fight, pointing out that many of Fury's punches landed on Usyk's gloves rather than cleanly connecting with his opponent. This was a testament to Usyk's defensive skills and his ability to neutralize Fury's offense. Jeffries emphasized the high level of concentration required throughout the fight, as both fighters had to remain alert to avoid punishment. The fight wasn't without its moments of intensity, but the high level of concentration and strategy made it a memorable contest in the world of heavyweight boxing. While the scorecards were a point of contention, many pundits agreed that Usyk's cleaner punches and more consistent work rate were the determining factors in the fight. Both fighters took some heavy shots, but Usyk seemed to land the more significant punches over the course of the fight. His ability to stay composed under pressure and find a way to win, even in the face of adversity, cemented his reputation as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. As the fight wore on, Tyson Fury seemed to grow more frustrated with the judges' decisions. He believed that he had done enough to secure the win, but the unanimous decision went in Usyk's favor. In the post-fight interviews, Fury maintained his belief that he had done enough to win, even if he acknowledged that the fight had been close. Usyk, on the other hand, was gracious in victory, crediting his coach Fury for helping him execute a perfect game plan. He admitted that the fight was easier than the first one, but emphasized that it was still a tough challenge. Looking ahead, the debate continues over what comes next for both fighters. Many boxing analysts have pointed to a potential trilogy between Fury and Usyk, given the close nature of their encounters. However, some have speculated that Fury might be nearing the end of his career. There are questions about whether his extra weight and his performance in this rematch could signal the end of the line for the Gypsy King. Some, like heavyweight contender Daniel Dubois, have suggested that Fury should call it a day, while others, like Amir Khan, believe that the fight was a classic, and the decision could have gone either way. The boxing world remains divided on the outcome of the rematch, but one thing is clear. Both Fury and Usyk put on a display of high-level boxing that will be remembered for years to come. The fight may not have had the same drama as their first encounter, but it was a tactical and compelling contest that showcased the skills and heart of both fighters. As the dust settles, the question remains, where do Fury and Usyk go from here? The answer to that may depend on their future performances and how the boxing world reacts to their next steps.